of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Here.
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 Here. Approval of the agenda. This meeting is essentially an organizational meeting because it was an election year. According to our attorney, Brian Graham, we should probably do this after the election every 2 years. And just take care of some business and other things that are there. So that's the purpose of this meeting. The agenda, I think, is self-explanatory. If anybody has any questions or comments?
Brian Graham said this, then why is it like 24-hour notice? Why couldn't we do it next week?
Because he said to do it as soon as we could after the 20th, which is the effective of the terms.
Okay.
I didn't do it tomorrow night because it was the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we would have been, next week I wasn't gonna be here, so.
Okay, so, all right,
That's pretty much the reasons.
all
I
right.
think what we should, and I'll talk to him about this, put a resolution in that stipulates when we do meet after the election years
Okay.
to take care of the organizational business.
Because this is costing us $400.
Right, understood. Approval of the agenda. Need a motion, please?
So,
Been moved and supported to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, motion is carried. Purpose of the meeting is organizational, as I said. Everybody received a copy of the committee assignments with the appointed committees as well as the telephone numbers of everybody. There has been some changes from a year ago, which I'm sure you're aware of. President Pro Tem Bill has accepted that. And the designated village bank depositors, there's 3 of us, Rachel, myself, and Bill Chapman. Any issues with that? Okay. The other issue, and I asked Brian, it wasn't organizational, but I said, can we talk about it? And this issue is just something I wanted to bring up again. I want us to move on it, primarily to get it out there and over with. If Mr. Ocrea does not like our decision, then he has the right to seek counsel and come forward. But if he likes our decision, then there's no need to do that. So obviously, most everybody is aware, in September meeting, we did ban him, but we didn't mention his name through that process. After talking with Brian Graham, he said we need to do that. Our October meeting, we postponed asking for his recommendation. Everybody has a copy of the letter that he provided. And essentially he said he couldn't make a recommendation, he wasn't familiar enough with the players. And it's going to be left in our lap anyway, so.
yeah, paragraph 2, last line. Therefore, I do not know whether it is in the best interest of the village campground to exclude Mr. Ocrea.
That's his opinion, because he didn't know the players, is what he was saying.
Added to that, in other words, any such exclusion would not be based on any discriminatory classification, so.
Right. So I'm going to make the motion that as the operator of the campground within Thurston Park, the village of Central Lake, by this motion hereby bans John Michael Ocrea, whose address is 233 Berry Street, Park Forest, Illinois, 60466, from entering the campground within Thurston Park located at 7800 Brook Street, Central Lake, Michigan, 49622, authorizes the issuance of the trespass after warning notice attached hereto, and directs the village clerk to serve a copy of the trespass after warning notice on Mr. Oprea by certified mail. Return receipt requested and delivery restricted to Mr. Oprea. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, it's been seconded by Clark. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like, before we vote, I'd like to just kind of bring up a couple of points. First, one, the attorney doesn't have an opinion, and that's kind of scary that he doesn't. Also, the last sentence of the police report states that no further action is necessary. I'd also like to state that it was not a campground manager that brought this to us. It was a council member. So that's just something to think about, I guess, guys.
It was not Lyle that brought it up, so.
Correct.
I talked to Lyle this afternoon, just to make sure. Lyle said he followed protocol, had Scott do the police report, and then the police report was turned over to the police committee, and then from there. So it had nothing to do, so Lyle's out of the picture on this. Let's make that very clear. It was not Lyle against anybody.
Right. And the police report was, Lyle wasn't in that. That was
So,
Oprea and two other campers. Any further comment?
did you talk to Brian at all, or is it just the letter that he sent back?
I talked to him.
All right, and he just didn't want to go, he wanted to stay right on the fence.
That's what he wanted to do. He didn't feel he had information enough to provide.
All right.
He reiterated that as owners of the park, operators of the park, that we have every right to exercise our decisions over the park. So case law, he said, supports you in this, and I suppose if Mr. Oprea chooses down the road to sue us, that's his business. But at least we can move on and not drag this out forever, so. Okay, the motion on the floor and the support, I'll have a roll call, please, yes or no?
Bobbit,
No.
Chapman,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Patton,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Salzman,
Yes,
Becker.
Yes. We will proceed with the trespass after warning notice to be submitted to him. The last order of business is my recommendation to reappoint Rachel Antioch as our clerk, treasurer, and administrative assistant. I'll make that motion and seek support.
Support.
Been moved and supported to appoint Rachel to village clerk, treasurer, and administrative assistant.
I have one question.
Yes,
She was not elected as someone who could give instructions or lead the committee or anything like that. Is that legal? We were elected to do our job, but her job, we hired her to do the secretary's job, but what about the other one?
I'm not following your question.
Right, what was her other position?
the administrative assistant.
It's the administrative assistant.
But she has the right to make decisions and stuff.
I don't think that's, I think that was more to help with the paperwork with the other departments.
See, that's
Sam
what got me confused, I don't understand exactly what the role is on that part.
Well, we have, we have a description that we did a year ago or 2 years ago. So I can find it, I don't have it on me or what's
It's online, isn't it? It's online.
Is it? I'd like, could you get me a copy of that?
Rachel, finish your copy.
She doesn't have the authority to hire fire or any
No.
of that.
but her authority, she doesn't have the authority to make other decisions, is what I'm getting at, does she or doesn't she?
Well, I guess it depends on the decisions.
If it falls within the job scope, I would say yes, but tell Sam what to do in his job or whatever, I would think that would be Larry's. So, I mean, it all depends on
I
the
guess
deed
that's
type
what
of-
I'm wondering, how far would her,
She has no authority to give orders to Sam Scott or anybody else that works for the village. That's not her scope.
okay,
That's defined in the presidential duties and responsibilities.
I didn't hear who supported on there.
Chapman.
Chapman, okay, thanks.
I can say that Rachel and I have had a couple of heart-to-heart conversations, and I'm willing to keep working on our relationship, so. I know what I have to do better, I think she knows what she has to do better. And hopefully it will benefit the community, because that's why we're here. There's been a motion and a support. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Public comment, 3 minutes. No public comment. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Been moved and supported by Chapman, moved by Wiley to adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you all for coming.
We do this everyone? You gotta be feeling a lot better right now.
Any left today?
No.
Okay.
No.